And that's when I realized that one of the guy put out a gun and he just started shooting just like that. And
Wow.
when you hear a gun, you can't stay there. You just have to get lost. So state, I would say the state is not that safe like the way people see it. It's like a war zone.
Wow.
You can meet atrocity anytime.
Hi, guys. Thanks once again for joining me on Time with Steven. I appreciate the love and support so far. On today's edition, I'll be speaking with Dela Kemavor, the CEO of Abonua Multimedia House, all the way in the United States. Without much ado, let's welcome Dela. Hi, Dela.
I
Welcome to
said,
Time with Steven.
thank you, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Which parts of the states are you talking from?
Okay, so right now I'm talking from Chester in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. For how long have you been in the states?
So I've been in the state for the past 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, I was based in New York and I moved into Pennsylvania like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Nice. So let's go to Ghana. Which part of Ghana did you grow up?
So in Ghana, I didn't stay at one place. I My dad was a military, so I was basically born in Bema Camp, the barracks.
Okay.
And from Bema Camp, I moved to the Zongo, Mamobi. Because my mom is a northerner, so I stayed at Mamobi for some time. Then from Mamobi, I moved to Akwetima. It's closer to La Paz. So we were in Akwetima for some time also. Then finally we moved to Dome. So from Akwetima to Dome, I've stayed in Dome since then before I came to the States. So I was at Dome for a while.
Oh, okay. So let's look at transitioning from Ghana to the States. Like, how did that happen?
Okay, so as I said earlier, my dad was in the military. So after my dad had his service for Ghana, he had the opportunity to extend his contract, but he said no, he doesn't want to extend his contract. So he retired and he moved into the state. So when he moved into the state, he came as a visitor. He started working. At the long last, he got married, had his papers, and started working. So me being in Ghana, I was also in high school. I went to Sum Senior Secondary Technical School. So um, after schooling for like 5 years, that is when my dad decided that it's time for me to join him in the States. So he filed for me and my sisters all together, and we all came the same day.
Wow. Okay, so prior to moving to the States, I mean, we've all heard about how beautiful, like we've seen in movies. Was there any sort of cultural shock you had when you got to the States?
Yes, I can't deny the fact that the state is really nice. The states,
Mhm.
they have beautiful buildings, and comparing it to where I'm coming from, because me staying in Ghana, I didn't really stay in any rich community or any good neighborhood. As I said, from Mamobi to Akwetima to Dome, all this neighborhood is like let's say Zongo, like a little bit slum. So me moving to the States was kind of a different feeling and a different altogether. But it's the state. I would say the state is not that safe like the way people see it. It's like a war zone.
Wow.
You can meet atrocity anytime. I've had encounter like twice. Shooting. I was going to work and there was a misunderstanding between two guys, but I was lucky because I wasn't really really close to the scene. When I came here, my dad advised me that anytime I see an altercation, when people are arguing and stuff, I shouldn't go closer to that place. If I'm heading towards that place, I could just change my direction. So me seeing that, I kind of relaxed, and that's when I realized that one of the guy put out a gun and he just started shooting just like that. And
Wow.
when you hear a gun, you can't stay there. You just have to get lost. So I've had an encounter like twice in New York. But since I moved
Mhm.
into New York, I came here. I don't really go out like the way I used to go out in New York. So I'm kind of always in the house from work. I just come, do some few things and all that. But when we talk about culture practices, I feel like this country they don't really have much cultures, because it's just their normal holidays like the Thanksgiving, the Halloween, all those holidays are considered to be their culture because that is what they celebrate most. But like we Ghanaians have a lot of cultures, like we have the festivals and all the concerts and all that. This country is a little bit different from how we relate in Ghana.
Okay. So we're going to come back to your experiences. But upon moving to the States, did you further your education um,
Yes,
in
so
the
when I
state?
was in Ghana, after sorry for that. After high school, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so after high school, I couldn't further my education in Ghana because my dad was like, okay, I'm thinking on the way for you to come here and complete your education. So I decided not to school further. I decided to wait. So when I came here, that is the time that I had the opportunity to go register myself in the university. And finally, I got my degree here.
Okay. What did you study?
So I studied computer information system. It's basically computer programming and web page development.
Oh, nice. So how did Abonua Multimedia House come about?
Okay, so let me start from junior high school. When I was in junior high school, there was a dude who came into the school and decided to introduce drama club in junior high school. He told us, if you want to learn how to act, if you want to act or anything, you could just join. So right from junior high school, it's something that I've loved because I've done a lot of stage acts, both in junior high school and in senior high school. So I school in the Eastern region. So I've gone to a lot of drama fairs. I've been acting in people other school stages and all that. So it's something that I have passion for. But at long grass, I didn't end up in any popular production. It's like I was finding it difficult to earn myself. The one I came close was Sparrow Production, and that one I was in junior high school, so they didn't really need any little boy like that to play their roles. So when I came in here, I always had a feeling that okay, if the door is not opening for you, sometimes you can be bold, step up and create your own door.
Right.
So I just sat down one day, had discussion with some of my friends who were also actors and all that. And they decided like that's a good idea. So if you want to start, you could do something. So I started saving, buying cameras, buying drones, buying all sort of things to start the production. So that is how I started.
Okay. In Abonua Multimedia House, you double as an actor. I've seen a couple of your skits on YouTube and all that. I mean, how do you manage playing both roles as a CEO and actor in your own media production?
Oh, it's kind of a great feeling because anytime I draft a script and I feel like I could play that role, I have directors too who works with me. I have directors, I have cameramen. Some of the cameramen serves as a directors too, and also so if I'm acting, basically I'm not in charge when I'm acting. It's either the directors take over or the camera guys take over. So they make sure that things go on well. But if I'm not acting, then I stay back and I look whatever is going on. Then I do. So it's not that difficult. When I'm acting, I'm not in charge of. I'm just in charge of me acting, but not in charge as the CEO. So
Okay.
that's how I manage it because I have help sometimes.
Oh, okay. Um, Before our interview, I visited your channel and saw some of your production. Um, for a first timer, it looks like there is no particular uh, agenda you are trying to pursue. Like you're versatile. You make skits, a little bit of documentary here and there. I mean, what is the direction for your company?
Okay, so you know, when you're setting up a production, sometimes I basically came in with only filming. That is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do skits and maybe movies. That is one thing that I wanted to do.
Okay.
But you know, as the world is proceeding, people are having different ideas. People are having
Yeah.
different thoughts. We
Yeah.
watch videos all the time. We get different ideas from other people's videos and all that. So I decided that okay, so if I'm focusing on only acting, why don't I add some few stuff like music reaction, um, maybe one or two news that you think you could talk about. Why don't I add traveling? Maybe when I travel to Ghana or any country, then I see any interesting thing. Why don't I make a video of it? Or why don't I go to this festival, record some certain stuff, and show it? Because as I'm in US now, I have a lot of people that come to me and talk to me and ask me, how's Africa like? How do you guys survive in Africa? Is there houses in Africa? Do you guys drink water? Do you guys have good food? So sometimes when you hear all those stuff, you feel like you get tired of explaining yourself. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's either you share some of the videos to them to go watch, or sometimes I record it myself and show you that okay, yeah, I was in Africa. This is the
Mhm.
places that I visited. This is the places that I went to. It's easy. It's normal. You guys can come to Africa and experience it yourself. So it also gave me that idea to do certain stuff of video, maybe do traveling videos, or do vlogs and all that. So right
Mhm.
now, Abonua is not basically on filming, but it's all around. It's like a versatile thing that we're doing all together.
Okay. And talking about Vesta, is it because of that you got a name, Mr. Versatile?
Yeah. So the name Mr. Versatile, I think I got it from Ochiame Kwame
Oh,
when I was in high school. I used to act, stage act, and I used to rap. And I was in the cadet also. It's like anywhere you go, you just see me there. You go this side, you see me there. You go this side, you see me there. You go this side, see me. So there was this production that I joined was called Bike Edutainment. There was a certain Duru brought a production called Bike Edutainment. And not knowing Ochame Kwame was also behind um, that style, that production. So he used to call us and advise us. So sometimes you watch my video, sometimes you see me playing a role, a serious role. Sometimes too, you see me playing like a mad person. Sometimes you see me play like a pastor. So it's like you realize like this dude, you're a versatile. You can play all the scene. Sometimes you play comic. Sometimes you play this. So you like a versatile. So that's how the name became like. Then they started calling me
wow.
Versatile, and I decided to add a Mister to it.
Oh, nice. One of your aliases is Fun-Chic-King. Is that a play on the word chicken, or
So
how did you get it? I mean,
yeah, the Fun-Chic-King is high school. There was a senior who was called Fun-Chic-King, but he was also an actor. He was in the drama club. So when I went to high school the first time, they didn't give us script, and they told me to act with the senior. So I just went on the stage and started doing something with him. It was like, hey, boy, you good. I'll start calling you Fun-Chic-King. Then that's, but because I changed the name, I didn't want it to look like my senior's name. So I twist the name a little bit. So you could see that the spelling is different, but it sounds like food
yeah,
chicken, but the spelling is
yeah,
different. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's go back to the States. I mean, the States has portrayed itself as the greatest country in the world. I mean, if you can make it in the States, you can make it anywhere. I mean, how true are all these statements?
So I would say sometimes I feel like it's true. I feel like America is one of the greatest countries in the world.
What makes it great?
It's like I would say their forefathers put things in place. Like they build the country to a certain level that it favors a lot of people. Even we the immigrants that come from different countries, we also come here and we get such opportunities. So we're concerning the health sector, it favors you. Concerning a job, it favors you because let's say if I was still in Ghana, I don't think it will be hard for me to buy a drone because the drone that I bought it for like $2,000, and converting $2,000, let's say it's like 20,000 Ghana city in Ghana. So imagine if even if I'm working as a big person in Ghana, I think 20,000 Ghana city won't be easy for me to get. But this state, if I want to raise $2,000, the only thing I have to do is to double my hustle. So if I'm working 40 hours, maybe I'll start working 80 hours. So making double money. So once I get my money, then I can relax.
Mm.
So sometimes we have such great opportunities. So the state is very big, it's very wide. And
Yeah.
I feel like any dream that you want to pursue, it won't be easy, but there are opportunities that you could follow, that you could get. So I feel like, and it's true, it's true to get such opportunities in this state.
No, okay. Earlier on, you were talking about one of your worst experiences in the States. As an African and a black man, do you feel safe in the United States of America?
I don't think nobody's safe over here. It's like the strong survives. Anything can happen anytime.
Wow.
Yeah, it's normal. Like it's like you living your normal life, but you wouldn't sometimes you just be baffled. Something can just happen in front of you right away. So for me, I feel like the way they were brought up was a little bit scary or somehow because as a teenager, some of the teenagers when they get to like 15, 16, they feel like it's time for them to get a gun. You know,
Whoa.
whilst they're growing, they feel like, oh, okay, now it's time for me to get a gun. So most of the youth over here, most of them are holding gun. And gun is something, it's a weapon that it's not easy to handle. Even the police, when they handle their gun and they go for an operation and they shoot, sometimes they go back to the hospital to check their mental health and all that. So imagine a youth, 15 years, 16 years, holding a gun. It becomes so any small problem, any minor problem, they start firing a gun. Any
Wow.
simple problem, they start firing it. So like we Ghanaians, anytime there is a fight, we normally fight with our hands or maybe with stones and all that. But comparing it here, anytime there is a fight, you don't need to stand there. You just need to find somewhere and hide. So
Wow.
it's here. It's never safe.
Wow.
It's never safe. Anywhere, anything can happen.
Wow. S- But here is the states where a lot of Ghanaians are trying to move to the states. They're complaining there is hardship back home in Ghana, etc. I mean, what advice do you have for them? Do you think they should still continue pursuing their dream to relocate to the states if there is indeed not as safe as we see in the movies and stuff?
Okay, so right now I would say even in Ghana, I don't think Ghana is also safe because now we've been hearing a whole lot of bad news in Ghana too.
Mhm.
People attacking people killing their girlfriends and all that. It's like now the world has become some kind of way. But I feel like talking about safeness, Ghana is far better than here when we're talking about safeness. But for me, I feel like if you are not somebody who's earning much in Ghana, you are not earning like a reasonable amount of money. and you feel like you want to travel and make some money, I wouldn't stop you. That's your decision. And I don't think it's a bad idea also. But there are people who make a lot and still want to travel and start making a living. That's where the problem comes in. Because if I'm in Ghana and I'm making like 5,000 cities a month, or I'm making like 10,000 cities a month, I don't think I'll be in this country. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't think I'll be in this country if I'm making that huge amount. Because here, one thing they don't know is our bills, the rent and the taxes are really high. So most money that you make, most of it goes into taxes, bills, rent, and all that. So sometimes you need to do like two jobs, you need to do like three jobs, so that after paying your rent, you still can have some money on you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people don't really know what goes on here, but the bills and the stuffs are really expensive over here. But when you are in Ghana, you could just rent a place that fits your need. You could just get a place that you feel like you can pay. But here, it's difficult to get a place you can pay unless maybe you want to go to the ghettos, and the ghettos is also not safe because the ghettos their rents are a little bit moderate. But if you are someone that you feel like you're not strong, you don't want problems and stuff, I don't think you could live in the ghettos because that is where the fight and the shooting most starts from. Yes. But if you want to live a better life, you want to live a place that is comfortable, then you need to double your hustling so that you can pay for your bills and your rent and stuff. So people that are
Mm-hmm.
in Ghana that wants to travel, that are not making a lot and feel like they can make it, they are strong enough. Because if you are lazy, you shouldn't come. If you are lazy, there's no way for you to travel. If you know you can't work 5 times a day, 6 times a day, just don't worry yourself. But if you believe in yourself that you are strong, you can work, make some money, you can work 8 hours, 10, 16 hours. If you believe in yourself, then I feel like it's when you get opportunity to travel, you should make it. But if you feel like you are not strong enough to work, you are lazy, then don't bother yourself traveling to the States because the bills itself will affect your mental health. Because at the end of the month, when you see your bills and you see the money that you're getting, if you are not strong, it will weigh you down. And your people in Africa, your people in Ghana will also be calling you and be asking you for funds. Your parents will be calling you, your friends, and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole lot of stuff. So if you are not strong enough to do that, then just stay back home. But if you think you are good, then you could just go to the States and start doing something for yourself.
Okay, so still talking about security in the States. I mean, the States is a very huge country. Is it like all parts of the States, or there are places that are more safer than others?
Yeah, there are places that are more safer than others, and there are places that is very terrible. So let me take New York for instance.
Hmm.
Um, when you are in New York and you are in Manhattan, Manhattan is a quite safe place because that's where most of the whites are
Okay.
and most of the rich people are. So it means that the security are doubled over there. The NYPD is always around those areas. They have their cars. They're looking out 247. They just there. So it's the crime rate in Manhattan is lower. But when you're
Okay.
talking about the Bronx or you're talking about Harlem, that is where the crime rate is up. Though there are police there, but they will hear something before they come. I quite remember when I was working in Harlem, there was a fight, and I called 911. I was doing security job. I called 911, and they asked me what happened. I said I don't know. It's just a fight between. They asked me, is it white people, black people? I was like, it's two black
Mhm.
people. I think one is a Spanish and one is an African American. They asked me, is there any weapon involved? I told them I have not seen any weapon, but the fight is serious. They told me, okay, bye bye. They never came.
Wow.
They never came. But as soon as you said there is a weapon, that's where you see them coming. If there is a gun, there's a knife, you see them coming immediately. They won't waste my time. But when I said nobody got hurt and they're still fighting, they never came. So Harlem, because they have a lot of projects, people people go there as low income people and start staying there, and the youth are a lot over in Harlem. So it's just one little confusion, it becomes a problem. They start shooting, they start doing this, start doing that. Same way in the Bronx. The Bronx is also consists of Africans and the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans and all that. For them too, they have this kind of violence that some places are not really neat like that. Some places looks like a ghetto. There is fights, shootings, and all that. There are places that are okay and there are places that are not. But for security reasons, I feel like where the rich neighborhood is, where the white people are, it's always quiet and they have double security and all that. So there are places that are okay and there are places that are not.
Wow. I mean, isn't this a sad reality where, I mean, there is a confrontation or there is a fight going on, and then you call uh, the emergency service or the police department, and all they could ask you if those people involved are blacks, I mean, or whites. I mean, that is a really sad reality.
Yeah. So
Um,
when they call you, they want a lot of description. They want to know what is
mm,
really going on. They'll ask you a whole lot of questions. So sometimes if somebody will be stabbed, by the time they get it, the person is already stabbed. If somebody is also feeling sick, you call, they will ask a whole lot of questions. And that day it was funny. I started laughing that day when they didn't show up. I was like, wow. The police didn't come. They didn't come.
wow.
They didn't come. Because they know that sometimes they feel like these people are like that. Just leave them. Since there's no weapon in that, let's allow them. But the moment they hear shooting or they hear something is going terrible, that's the time you see them coming in. But it's sad though. It happens sometimes.
Okay, let's talk about the relationship between the Black Americans and then the Africans. I mean, over the internet, we could read stories about the Black Americans still consider the African immigrants there like as below their level, below class. I mean, how true is this statement?
Yeah, there's some kind of truth in it. The African Americans really don't see most Africans to be their colleagues, or let me say their brothers and sisters. Some do, but most of them don't. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
some kind of jealousy. I don't know, but the place I work, there is one man that when I consider him to be an African American, he said I shouldn't call him African American. I should call him Black American. I was like,
What's the difference?
what's the
Yeah,
difference in me calling you African American and Black American?
yeah.
He said he's not from Africa. And I was like, so where are you from? If you're not from Africa, where are you from? He said, I'm an American. I was like, there is nobody such an American. Everybody's coming from somewhere.
Right.
Even the whites here in America, they also came from somewhere.
Yeah.
So if they call you African American, I don't see anything wrong in that. It's just the same as calling you Black American. So I feel like most African American, because I think because of how they portrayed it, they heard a lot of stories about Africans. Some heard that those in Africa sold them into slavery. Most
Mm,
of them be hearing that it's like, oh, Africans sold our forefathers into slavery. They took money from the whites and sold us and all that and all that. So anytime I'm having a conversation with them, I try to explain things with them that look, some were sold, some also it was the strong survives. People ran for their lives. If your forefather couldn't run for his life and he was captured, you can't blame any African that he because you are African American and your forefathers were slaves, so all Africans are the cause of your problems. No. And one thing too, when we come here, we Africans,
Yeah.
especially we Ghanaians, we like working a lot. So when you are working with them, most of them don't like to work like the way we work. We will come here, we work
Mm,
40, 60,
yeah.
80 hours, and you'll be making money. And when you're making money, that's when the jealousy comes in. you know
Okay.
and they feel like you're working too much. Why are you working too much? Bro, we have family at home, they depend on us. So sometimes you are here, you don't have anybody to send any money to, so you are comfortable living your life. But me, I'm here, I have some cousins, I have friends, I have people. Sometimes they need help, they'll contact you. So you have to be prepared for anything. You understand? So we just double our hustle. We just like to work, and there is nothing that is favorable over here. When I come to Ghana, I even enjoy most my vacation in Ghana more than I'm here, because here I don't see anything interesting over here, really, because I feel like I wasn't born here, I wasn't raised here. So for me, I can't really adapt to their system. I'm just
Yeah.
here working, come on, take care of my family, normal, just like that. But when I'm in Ghana, I feel more happiness than me being here. You understand? So I just feel like here's a country that I just came to work. At first, I didn't want to get my citizenship, but I realized that I needed a citizenship for a lot of stuff. So I decided to get my citizenship. So comparing ourselves to the African Americans, some really like us because they feel like they want to know their roots. Some go to the extent to do ancestral DNA to find out where
Hmm.
exactly they're coming from. When some approach you, they ask you questions. Tell me more about Africa. I want to go to Africa. I want to see how Africa is like. Some go to the extent of saying they want their future partners to come from Africa and all that. But most of them also don't really, really, really just like us. They just have this mentality that Africans are sellouts. It's like we are snitch. We sell people out, and that is what happened in the olden days. So I feel like they needed more education about what happened during the ancient time. So that's why I decided to do some of my videos going to the fort, going to the castle to record some of the videos, the
Yeah.
explanation. When I get it, I just post it to them for them to learn something. So it's true. We and the African Americans, we don't really have love between us. It's it's some way, some some even go to the extent of saying that we can't speak English, but they don't know that the English, it is accent.
Yeah.
American English is accent. You just have the accent. I'm speaking Ghana English, I have Ghanaian accent. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I can't speak English. The fact that if I say something you don't understand doesn't mean that I'm not saying the right thing. Yeah. So that is how we live in here with the African Americans.
Wow, that's really sad. Um, you spoke on your production. I mean, just to educate, like shed more light on what is actually going on in Africa. I mean, it is 2023. There is internet everywhere. Why do people still have this weird perception that Africans are still sleeping in huts and on trees? Why do they still have this perception? Is it that the media still in the States still continue portraying Africa in that limelight?
So one thing, the media here doesn't really post the beauty of Africa. I've never seen it even once. I've never seen it before.
Wow.
Yes, I've never seen the media here posting anything that is good about Africa. When you see Africa, when they post something, it's about like animals kingdom. You see only animals and all that. Because one of the African American even asked me that, bro, if I go to Africa, will the tigers attack me? I was like, what are you talking about? There's no tiger coming anywhere to come and attack you. It's like you just portray it like it's like a jungle.
Yeah.
That is what the media show them. Sometimes you can't blame them. And sometimes they show these kids that are suffering. You see their neck, they are going hungry. Then the media will portraying it and showing that, oh, they need help, they need money. African kids are suffering and all that. So for the media, nah, they don't really show anything good in Africa unless you do your research. And most of our people here don't like to do research. They
Mhm.
just watch whatever they see and they just talk about. They don't like to do any research. That's why most of them think that we still living in caves and living in the forest because they don't see anything about us. So we are here. That is when we get encounter with them. Then we start to show them videos on YouTube. We start to show them some cities in Africa, some nice cities and all that. So that is how people are getting to know Africa. And now TikTok has also played a major role about Africa because now a lot of people show videos of Africa on TikTok. We show our
Yeah.
music on TikTok. We show our dance moves on TikTok. So now people are getting their attention about Africa. Now they realize that there is so much talent and there is so much stuff that is going on in Africa. So now, as I'm talking to you, every December you see people wants to go to Ghana and
Yeah.
have fun because it's like Ghana has become the center of Africa that people normally go there, have fun, and come back. So I feel like now social media is trying to show a lot of people here about Africa. When I went to Ghana in February, when I was coming back, I bought this ahinema.
Mhm.
I bought one full bag and came and shared it to my coworkers. Whilst I was sharing it to them, I was telling them what is it and how they
Yeah.
wear it and all that. And they were like, oh wow, really? I told them this, though everybody can wear it, but it's from the royals. The kings and the queens are the ones who wear this stuff and all that. And I was showing them videos, showing them pictures of Otufon and I'll say Tutu, showing them that anything that you see there shining in this neck is gold, pure gold. So you guys just be sitting here and feel like we don't have anything in Africa, but everything that is here, we have those in Africa.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about the year of return, and now Ghana has become like the center stage for, for December, like most Americans are trooping into Ghana. Do you think Ghana is maximizing the opportunity enough?
Yeah, I think Ghana is doing well right now.
Okay.
Because when it comes to the Hollywood industry, the American actors and actresses, Ghana has also played a major role in it because we have most of our actors and actresses in Hollywood. And once they come back to Ghana and they see how Ghana is, they come and they tell their people how Ghana is. And also we have a whole lot of concerts happening in Ghana during the December period. We have the Stoneboy concert, we have a whole lot of concert and all those things. So Stoneboy has also been featuring some of the American artists and all that. So fans of that artist go and search about Stoneboy music, Stoneboy's program and all that. They all want to come to Ghana and experience something. We have a lot of TikTokers that comes from America, go to Ghana, do content, do their hair, tell the price, do all sort of things. And here, one thing about people here is that when they see such things like that, they want to get themselves involved. It's like, oh, this thing is looking good. I want to experience this. I want to go to Kakum National Park. I want to go to the cast. I want to go. So I feel like social media is really helping Ghana right now because we are improving in that aspect, that tourism aspect.
Mhm.
Yes, we really improving in that tourism aspect, and then the help of our actors that are here, like the well, Kujo, Idris Iba, and all those people.
Yeah.
They also say good things about Ghana, so it's letting everybody interested to go to Ghana.
Okay, so talking about the year of return and Ghana becoming the center stage for December celebrations and stuff, is your company maximizing on such opportunities? I mean, are you trying to produce anything in line with such events?
Yes, we are trying to create some good content. First of all, we want to create something like a show, like a series, like a documentary, within both Ghana and in US. But most of it is going to come from the not the rich neighborhood, like the let's say the slums,
Okay.
a little bit from the slums, and also in US a little bit from the ghettos, so that we blend it together. So it will be like a show. Every week we show one of it, both US and Ghana, both US and Ghana. And I'm planning on also to show a full movie, about 2 or 3 movies that I'm working on. Very soon I'll post the flyers to hire some actors. Then we work on that too. And the last one is I'm planning of making Abonua Multimedia also like a full-time job, something that every day we'll be producing videos.
Nice.
We'll be having like a podcast and also a reaction on daily news,
Yeah.
daily news, what is really happening both in US and in Ghana. We'll have a
Yeah.
reaction on that, and we have a podcast that we also talk about life, similar like your program, something like that. And for that one too, it will start. So I've already started, but I've not started producing it yet. When
Okay.
I go to people's places, people's houses, I go to New York, Washington, I have a chat with them. We talk about some basic stuff and all that. That very soon I'll be producing them all on Abonua Multimedia.
Okay. Um, I watched on your YouTube channel. I saw that you were in Ghana, I think 2 or 3 years ago to do some production. I mean, how challenging it is to work with Ghanaian actors and actresses as compared to the States.
So so my first time when I started acting with them. It was kind of tough, with the time when you give them the time, you see anybody coming at the time they want. Sometimes you know that you already have a role you're supposed to play. You're supposed to be arriving on this time so that we go to the set and do. But Ghanaians have this specific time. If they give you 10, you have to be there 12. You know, so sometime when we're supposed to finish by 12 or 1 p.m., by the time we started, the day is already there. The daylight is already gone. Then now we need to on the light, and the scenes that are supposed to shoot in the day, it end up shooting in the night. So I was having this kind of difficult challenges because I wasn't basically based in Ghana, so I couldn't do the recruiting myself. So
Okay.
I had to hire people to do the recruiting. So it was tough. It was a little bit tough in Ghana. But I feel like the beginning, that's how it happens. You will have this kind of challenges, but as time goes on, it will become stable. And here in America, it's also really, really tough because getting actors from here, it's hard. It's really hard because I once remembered when I was in college and I was in the movie group. That is when it will become easy to get most of the actors because you're already in the group with them. Sometimes, oh bro, you choose about 2 or 3. I want you to feature me in this scene. I want to do a short clip. That one is fine. But now to get them is really, really difficult. Now it's really
Okay.
difficult. Yes. So that's how it is. But in the beginning, it will be like that until people see that you are really improving. That's when they start
Yeah,
bringing themselves inside. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, Dela, thanks for making time with us. Before we part ways, this is a question I intend to ask all my guests on this channel. I'd like to know what's the one most important lesson life has taught you?
Um, though life has taught me a lot, but I feel like we should be patient. In this life, I feel like the number one spot that I would choose is patience in everything you do. in everything that you want to do, you want to achieve. I'm not saying you should go and sleep or go, you don't do anything and no. What I'm saying is everything has time. You should just be patient. The only thing you should add is you should add effort to it. You shouldn't rush. Just add effort. Just have your goal, focus on it, proceed on it, work on it. But if it's not moving the way you want it to move, just be patient. We are not rushing to anywhere. This is life, this is the world. Once you believe you could get there, you will get there. So one word I'll tell everybody that in everything you do, you should just be patient.
All right.
Everything will fall into places.
Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, so on social media, my YouTube, when you type Fun-Chic-King GH, that's Fun-Chic-King, then GH, Fun-Chic-King GH on YouTube, and other social media platform, the same thing, the Fun-Chic-King or Mr. Versatile on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X. Yes, you just type Fun-Chic-King or you type Mr. Versatile. You just get me on all platforms.
It's been a wonderful time with you, and thanks for painting a picture of the United States and your life journey with us.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't know about you, but this conversation gave me chills with regards to the current situation going on in the United States of America. If you made it this far to this video, kindly follow Dela Kemavor on all his social media platforms. And please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and drop your comments below. Guys, I promise you my next interview is going to be really interesting because I'll be hosting a musician from Ghana. Guess who? See you in the next interview. Bye.